Okay, well, I think it's appropriate time to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Morgan Booth here with Kinetech. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Today we are going to be focusing on how to submit multiple orders under the same project, as well as the DIRT chargeback process. So like everything with Kinetech PM, it's going to be very intuitive and very user-friendly, but we just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with all the new modules that we added and new functionality. Be sure to submit any questions that you guys have through the chat feature found on the Join Me toolbar. Everybody's on mute, so I can't hear you. Obviously, you can hear me. And then this session is being recorded, and I'll be sure to share it out, or we will share it out to all our users next week. And if you have any requests on any further webinars that you guys would like to see, please send us an email either directly to myself or info@Kinetech Cloud. We, of course, are here for you guys. So I'm going to sign in as a distribution partner. And as you guys are very familiar with this by now, you're taken to your project management overview page. And let's go ahead and submit a new order. So I'm going to jump into phase 2 here. And I'm going to go to my order entry tab like I normally would. So again, so far, very familiar, very simple. Now you'll notice you have two different tabs now. You have your original order and additional order. So the original order is still the same, right? You have your project scope form, all the details of the PSF. You can obviously drag and drop all of your required files, your project PDFs, and your freight quotes. So this stuff remains the same. You can still validate, approve, create your project scope form. Again, nothing on the original order has changed. So let's say that on this particular project, I needed to order my power separately or my millwork separately from the main order. I can go over to my additional order tab. You can see that I already have an additional order, but I'm just going to go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and press create additional order. And it's saying, hey, additional orders are pretty rare on projects. Are you sure you want to proceed? And say, yes, I'd like to proceed. And what this does is this copies over all the details that I had from my original project scope form from my original order. So I don't have to sit and rekey this data. So we have our site dimensions, ceiling details, all that fun stuff. Because this is a different order, I'm going to call out that this is power only. And then I'm also going to drag and drop my required files. So notice that all of my project scope form details copied over, but none of my required files. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys this, but you guys will have, new files per your new order. So new ICE files, new POs, new SFNs to submit, and then new freight quotes as well. So we didn't want to confuse you by copying over those original files. So I'm just going to quickly drag and drop a couple PDFs just so I can submit my order, okay? So we also still have all of our validations set, but because we already copied a completed project scope form, we shouldn't have any validations. So it's saying, nice work, you're ready to go ahead and submit this project. Then we say, all right, we can either create the project scope form again, or do like we currently do and actually go ahead and submit the order directly through the application. So I'm just going to go ahead and say submit additional order. It pulls through my project team as well, so I'm just going to remove a couple people here. So I'm saying I want to include my project scope form, my freight quote, and then my project PDFs. If you guys include your order entry checklist, you can include this here too. And then go ahead and send off that email to order entry. And order entry will receive the same email like they currently do, except it's calling out a different order now. So it's saying the project is this, but the order name is now phase 2 power only. So that way order entry understands that it's a separate order. And of course, all my PDFs that I needed to send through the order are also sent. I can also view my statuses on my additional orders. And then my original order, of course, still has the main status. So one thing to also point out is that with DIRT, you have multiple mass numbers if you have multiple orders. So you need to be able to manage those mass numbers and PIDs, correct? So you have one mass number per order. So you see that I have my mass numbers already inputted for my original order and then for my millwork order, but now I need to go ahead and input it for my power order. Then to associate my PID numbers to my mass number, I can add my PIDs and associate it to my mass number. So this way, when I'm creating deficiencies, I'm able to quickly pull through my mass number and then associate whatever PID numbers that are with that mass number. So I'm just going to quickly save here. And yeah, but that's pretty simple for additional orders. Like I said, on additional orders, the original order and that whole process is the same how you guys are currently utilizing the application. Required files, everything's the same. And then when you create an additional order and you create a new order, all your project scope form information is copied over except for the required files. And then you would just proceed on and go ahead and submit that to order entry. And then you can manage it.